Welcome to the Zimmerman Podcast with your host, CEO, wedding professional, educator, and mom, Jessica Zimmerman.
This is a brand new Zimmerman podcast mini-series, Sleeping with a Stranger Under the Cover. In the next few weeks leading up to the release of my memoir, Sleeping with a Stranger, we'll be taking a look under the cover as I share insider information about the story and process behind my memoir, Sleeping with a Stranger, which releases May 7th, 2020. I'm sitting down with Rachel, who will be interviewing me about the deeply personal and never before shared details of my journey through living and writing Sleeping with a Stranger. So let's do this. Let's go under the cover. Hey, Rachel, how's it going?
It's great. How are you, Jess?
I am good. We only have a couple of these under the cover episodes left.
I know it's pretty crazy. And the reason for that is that the book is almost fully launched. We've had the Kindle version, the ebook come out, and then it's starting in May. It's just, full force.
I know it next week. So a week from today, when you're listening to this, if you're listening to this the day it comes out, a week from today, May 7th, you can get it. So the hardcover, the paperback, the ebook, I'm so excited. I cannot wait for it to just be out and done and everything. It has been such a kind of all consuming in my work life lately. So as you very well know. So yeah.
Yeah. So talk to us about, obviously you're not writing the book right now. That's finished. That part of this process is finished, but there's so much more to the book than just the words that you see on the page. How has your life looked like as far as book stuff right now? And how is your kind of business brain infiltrating this book marketing process?
So here's the thing. If I knew everything that I knew that I now know about publishing a book, I don't know if I would have been as excited about this when I started, because I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Writing the story is, honestly, 10% of it. There is so much more. And that's got to be right? That's got to be good. You've got to put your excellence into that. You got to get a team of people around you that are going to look and help and guide and make it, to a level of excellence. That in itself is kind of one job. But honestly, from start to finish, I would say that is about 10%. I think that there's just so much that goes into publishing a book, so many steps. Even right now, I'm dealing with the fact that audiobooks are, and I've learned this, and I would have never thought this when I started the whole thing, but apparently, I did a professional recording at a professional studio in Nashville. It is top quality. And if Audible senses like any type of blip, then they halt the process of uploading the audio. And apparently, the whole uploading process takes about a month, which is crazy to me. I guess just from start to finish, it's not taking 30 days for like the actual audio to upload, but the process of from when you start the Audible process to when you finish it is about 30 days. And any time during that 30 days, something can be put on pause. And we got a notification yesterday that something was put on pause, and we had to go back to the sound engineer, and he had to fix literally one thing. And now we have to start the process over. And so it's just things like that you're just like, they're out of your control. There's nothing you can do. And that's what's been a little I've really kind of learned to roll with it a little bit during these last few months, because there's so much that is just out of your control and you just can't do anything about it. So it's just so many things like that. And then you've got, your book cover design, and that book cover has to be translated from hardcover to paperback to audio to ebook. And then, the book just recently received USA Today bestseller and Wall Street Journal bestseller. So now that badge is added to all of those. So that's a whole process. And then, just every step along the way has been a job, I feel like, in itself. And now I'm in the marketing, and that is what I do basically all day, every day is I am doing marketing in some way, and I still have my actual business, to focus on, and we're trying to, keep things running there, getting our blog posts out and our regular podcast episodes and everything. And so it almost feels like this is kind of a bonus job at the moment. Like it feels like an
Yeah.
additional, like I've got two things going on. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to market. I've been doing a lot of podcast interviews where I've been a guest on other people's podcasts, and I have some exciting stuff coming up, but I can't share it yet, unfortunately, which I know is annoying. But yeah, I've just been working really, really hard on marketing the book and trying to get it out there because it's a little self-published book, and I don't say little in like demeaning it or diminishing it in any way. It's just it's the truth. It's like there's not this huge company behind it promoting it and putting, dollars into the marketing of it. It's all me. And so just trying to be as smart as I can with that. Even this morning I got a call about something and it made a decision about this other thing I was doing for marketing. I was going to be doing, which I still might, I haven't fully made the decision, but I was going to do these really gorgeous, beautiful, like influencer boxes and send them out. And now I don't really know if that's the best use of my money, so it's just doing all of those things. I don't know. I'm rambling.
Well, no, it's there's usually like teams of people if you're not self-published who are doing these very things, and you are in the unique space where you still have the desire for excellence like a traditional publisher and the expectations of a traditional publisher, and you're getting accolades on, these big lists like traditional publishers would, but it's all in-house. So yeah, it's a lot of work. And I'm sure because you have this entrepreneurial brain where you're constantly wanting to do, to tweak things and to do the best version of things, that there's just a lot going on there in your brain.
Yeah, there really is. But it's been a really, such a cool thing to get it to the finish line. We are almost there. Like I said, next week, May 7th, it's out. It is official. We've had the ebook out for a couple weeks now, but now the, hardback and paperback and hopefully the audio will be out very soon. So that just will feel like a huge accomplishment to start seeing people like holding it in their hands. And if you do take a picture and use the hashtag sleeping with a stranger book and tag me in it at Jessica Zimmerman underscore on Instagram. And because that's just going to make me so happy to see it. So that's going to be crazy to see it like in people's hands. And now really my job is just once we get the whole audio, situated back out, it's just the marketing and doing my best to promote it, which I'm now kind of learning is going to be about a year-long thing, which is it's a long time to really talk about yourself and the and everything. But I started doing some research from other people who authors who have written memoirs, and they're like, "Yeah, that's what you do. You basically go for a year and, like, talk about it." And I'm just like, "Oh, man, that's crazy." But here we go. Here goes nothing.
Here we go. And is there part of you that's like, okay, I'm ready for the new project?
No, I'm ready for a big break. Honestly, I'm excited about like going out and promoting it. Once hopefully, we get to get out of hopefully sooner than later from the whole lockdown with COVID and everything. But I'm excited to be honestly, I'm excited that the creation of everything we have is done. We have 4 amazing online programs that are done. They're done and they're just ready for people. The book is done and it's ready for people. So I'm really excited because I feel like, and you know this, I mean, for the last year and a half, we have been, and I feel this way a little bit too from 2017. I feel like I've been in a constant mode of creation. And so to now kind of be done with creation, I even found myself yesterday, it was almost like this space in my brain opened up. And I found myself yesterday like thinking of new ideas and oh, wouldn't that be good? No, and I had to stop myself and go, don't even think about it. Like don't even get another idea. Just rest in this for a minute. Like just rest in the luxury of things being completed. And really, all I have to do is promote right now. And so I'm going to just try to focus on that and rest a little bit more. If you love Zimmerman podcast and you end each episode thinking, gosh, I just need more of this in my life, boy, have I got the thing for you. I just got back from recording the audiobook for Sleeping with a Stranger, and something about recording the book out loud made me both excited and terrified. It is by far the most exposed I'd ever felt, but for a listener, it's the most personal way to take in the story. As a special treat, I'm releasing my audiobook 7 days early on May 1st. And if you buy the audiobook in the month of May and email your receipt to Kelly at jessicazimmerman.com, that's Kellie at jessicazimmerman.com, you will be given a backstage pass to an online Sleeping with a Stranger special event with me and special guest Brian Zimmerman. He's kind of the leading man in the story. So set a reminder for May 1st and buy the audiobook and email us your receipt to claim your backstage pass. Go to sleepingwithastranger.com to snag the audiobook on May 1st.
Is it hard having an intersection between work and personal, because this book is a work project, but it is so about your personal life? This is the first time that you've had one big work campaign that you have to market, you have to find a way to market this story that's also just such a personal story. So what is that like, having kind of that intersection of business and personal? What does that felt like? And not just practically, but is that hard to have boundaries, or to know when to turn it off? What's that like?
It really isn't hard for me because I think I just am me, like my business is part of me, my personal story is part of me, and I just am who I am. Now, I definitely set boundaries with this is what time I'm going to stop working, and this is what time I'm going to start working, and this is, now I'm going to go be with my family and be a mom and a wife and a friend and those things. So I'm able to be really black and white about kind of the time frame boundaries. I also am able to compartmentalize a little bit. Like, for example, the website, jessicazimmerman.com. When I go to that, there's all these pictures of me, right? Because I'm the face and voice of this business. But I don't even look at that and see that. Like, I almost look at that person as that's just a businesswoman who is the brand. I don't look at that and think it's me, even though I know it's me. I'm able to really kind of separate that. And because Jessica Zimmerman, me, I would never have a website and just be like, look at all these pictures of me. You know what I mean? It is clearly a business strategy. And I think that's actually hard for people to wrap their brains around. I've actually learned there's a couple people in my life who just have no idea what I do. Like, they just don't get it. They're like, "How do you make money?" They just listen to your idea? Like, what? They just don't get it, and that's okay. They don't have to. But I think that I don't know, I'm just able to kind of separate it and go, "Okay, well, that's what I have to do for business." In my personal life, I'm a lot more, I'm not showy or anything like that? So
Hmm.
I don't know if this makes any sense. Again, I'm
No,
in
it
a blank.
totally makes sense. I was listening to an interview the other day that was talking about how Steve Martin, when you meet him in real life, like, he's obviously this huge, larger than life comedian, one of the most famous comedians to ever live. And when you meet him in real life, he's like a serious, contemplative person. And the person who's being interviewed was just saying it can be kind of like a shock, because you think, oh, he's this all star comedian. He must be like that in real life. He must be his character in real life. But when you have that version of you on the website, it's very purposeful, it's very intentional, and it is representing you. But that doesn't mean that, like, your brand isn't you. How you choose to portray yourself as a business on your website, or even on Instagram or on Facebook, that's not who you are. And so, yeah, because it's a personal brand.
Yeah, it's part of me, it's not the whole me. I'm just able to separate that out and realize I'm so much more than my business. There's so many more facets to me that are never going to be on that website. You know what I mean? That is my
Mhm.
business brain. And yes, this book is very personal, but it's also a business venture. This book is. And it's funny. I had a friend say to me, how did you fund, if you're self-publishing, like, how did you fund, did you just have this money in the back or whatever? And I said, well, it's a business venture. So I, of course, am going to do a business loan. I'm not going to take my personal money and put it up, like I'm going to treat this like a business decision. So I'm going to get a business loan. I'm going to have a financial plan to pay it back in a short amount of time. And yeah, it's all going to be done through the business because the book is a business venture. Just because the content of the book happens to be personal, it doesn't make the book not a business venture. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally.
So you have to treat it like business. And I also think that's probably why, a lot of people who are writers, I got to thinking about this, to be honest, Rachel. I think a lot of people who are writers, they might have to go through traditional publishing. I just happen to have the business brain, that can see the importance. Like there was someone I was talking to the other day, and they told me how much something was going to cost. This was these influencer things that I was talking about, and I didn't bat an eye. I was like, "Well, yeah, of course it's going to cost that much." And she goes, "You're the first person to ever say that. Like everyone always is just, I can't believe it costs that much money to make boxes and ship them." I'm like, "No, of course it does." Like I get it.
Mhm.
I understand. And I just think unless you're immersed in business and business numbers every day, those numbers are shocking. And so it is probably easier to just, write your story and then let someone else handle everything. Whereas then you have a lot of self published authors who are able to get it, at least onto Amazon or something, but then it never goes anywhere because they don't know how to market. So I'm grateful that, over the past few years, I've kind of little by little collected some different tools for my toolkit, and we're able to do this. I mean, with a remarkable team, but I see the importance in every I see the importance in the writing. I see the importance in the editing. I see the importance in the cover. I see the importance in, the audio. Someone said, why don't you just do the audio from your podcast closet? I'm not gonna do that. This is going up on Audible, and it's gotta be, of the most excellence. I'm gonna travel to Nashville and go to a studio and have a sound engineer do the whole thing. You know what I mean? So, like, every step is important, but I can totally see how people get overwhelmed and then their work never gets out there. I just feel like I just tooted my own horn, and I didn't mean to do that. I just was saying I have the business brain and happened to write a book, and so it worked out.
Right, and I think it's encouraging for other people to know, like, it took you years of doing things that maybe weren't the thing that you thought, "I wanna be doing for the rest of my life," but you knew it was what you were supposed to be doing then. And I think sometimes we and you talk a lot about this in the course, Know Your Numbers, but you think about, like, you're taught to think, what do I want to do for my life, instead of what makes sense, what feels right now. And you trusted your gut through the past years of building your business, and in some stages it had to feel like, I don't know why this is what I'm doing right now, but I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing. But all of those things accumulated into, yeah, this mindset and these abilities and the team and just the entrepreneurial way of thinking and of asking, like, is this really the only way there is to do this? What if we tried this? That made this a successful project that very few people would be able to successfully self-publish a book like this and have it be competitive with books that are coming out of huge publishing houses. But I mean, you've said it before, this is just, it became clear that everything in your life was leading up to writing this book and this book project. And I just think it's interesting and encouraging for people. If you're in a stage in your life where you're thinking, this isn't what I want to be doing for my whole life, but it feels like what I'm supposed to be doing right now, just trust the process, because it you ended up on the path where you were supposed to be the whole time.
Yes. And if you don't know what to do, sit for a minute. Like, just sit. And you don't have to know what to do. maybe tomorrow that answer will come, or in a week it'll come, but it's like, it will. And I spent all of those years in the wedding business going, what am I doing here? Like what, I just felt so like a fish out of water. And now I know exactly what I was doing there, learning skills so that I could teach vulnerably about business and share vulnerably about business. And that, in every way has prepared me to share vulnerably about my personal life. And in between, I've learned a lot of business skills that are definitely helping, with the marketing of the book and everything. So yeah, it's just been a ride, man. It's been a ride. So I'm looking forward to like I said, all the creation part being done, and just like I said, I feel like my brain space is opening a little bit and I can kind of breathe. And when I said earlier, I said I'll finally rest. I don't mean physically, because I definitely quit every day and sleep and all of that. I mean, I guess for my brain to shut off a little bit, with okay, now tomorrow I need to do this. And that's just stuff that you can't shut off. It just is in there.
Right.
And so I feel excited about, my brain resting a little bit and just focusing on, okay, now just get out there and share as best you can. That's my only job right now. I feel like I rambled this whole episode, so sorry about that, guys, but hopefully it was somewhat interesting. Next week is going to be our final Under the Cover.
That is just wild.
That's crazy. And I will say, we've done pretty good considering that we somehow, when we started this, we were only going to have like 7 episodes total. And then the date got pushed back. So we ended up with like 15 or something. And
I know.
we've just been trying to keep it going. But
We're doing our best for you guys.
we are. But okay, catch us next week for the final episode of Under the Cover. The ebook is available now. The hardcover paperback is available for pre-order. It will be ready for you on May 7th. And audiobook, hopefully it will be too. I'm going to go check on that right after we get off this recording.
Well, thanks, Jess. I'll see you next week.
Okay, see ya. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Zimmerman podcast miniseries, Sleeping with a Stranger Under the Cover. Don't forget, you can get book updates and VIP treatment at sleepingwithastranger.com. The book will be available May 7th. I'll see you next time.